Okay, good evening, everyone. If you've got cell phones on, would you please turn them on silent or vibrate so we're not disturbing the board meeting? Mr. Walters, would you close the back door for me, please, sir? I'd like to call the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Broadview for February 19th to order. And let the record reflect that it's 7:37. And first of all, I'd like to apologize for you all and please exercise some indulgence. We got an attendance issue right now. We need at least one more trustee here to actually really do some business. So with that being said, there are certain things that we can't address right now as we're waiting on the additional trustees to come in. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Trustee Abraham? Here. Trustee Benson is absent. Trustee Hubbard? Here. President Jones?
Present.
Trustee McGreer is absent. Trustee Morris?
Here.
Trustee Brown Marino is absent. May we all stand for the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we all have a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Are we moving forward to item number 2?
Yeah, we're going to go on to item number 2, and then at that point, I'll entertain a motion, okay?
Item number 2, public comment.
Shirley Redmond.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
And trustees, administrators, and residents. I'm Shirley Redmond at 2246 South 24th Avenue. I want to say that I was glad we had the January 31st water sewer meeting. I think it was a good first start. However, some of the information you can't read off of the video, like the charts. And Jan was gracious after a week of me trying to get copies to give me a copy, an 8x11 paper copy. But then I thought about it. I'm wondering, why isn't that in a PDF on the website so everybody can get it, enlarge it, you know, and read it and understand it? And so I'm asking, can we put phase 1 of Jan Gomez's and Jan Baptiste's report up there? And I'm going to ask, because you all know that I've been here asking about sewer prevention and all of that, and I've talked to different people. I want to know what's happening in phase 2, because you know what? I want to see what the streets around me look like. And do I need to invest in a water, backflow preventive system or something? Because I've been looking for 2 years, and based on what the street condition, the sewer condition, where I am, is going to tell me when I might be able to do that. And I would think it would be good information to have for everybody, okay? So I'm asking for that, if you can do it. Put it in a PDF, please. Also, I have a couple questions. The first question is in regard to the state statute for adult use. Back in May of 2012 and end of April, I attended many meetings, and I thought this situation was settled as far as I'm concerned. I understood that we had a rezoning ordinance, and we were working on that. I remember you all passed it on the 21st of May. And I remember a town hall meeting, which I really appreciate having. I thought that you all handled it real well. The last thing I remember, that we were going to follow state statute, meaning that an adult use can't be within a mile of a school, a church, or a park. I went and looked on the code, up the code to see what was going on. Did we have it out there? It's not updated yet, but I know you all get it. So I'm asking, put it out there. Because as far as I'm concerned, people can apply for whatever they want to apply. But if we got our ducks in a row like we said we were going to do, it ain't going to make any difference. Let them all apply. That's what America is all about. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Ms. Gwen Turner.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gwen Turner, and I'm the secretary of the Broadview Neighborhood Watch Committee. Our meeting is this Friday, February 22nd, 7 o'clock right here. Please come out. We do have Broadview Neighborhood Watch window signs to pass out, so you can put them in your window. And we hope everyone will feel like this Friday. Thank you. 7 o'clock.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. Ms. Vines, Deborah Vines.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Deborah Vance, and I'm the Executive Director of the Aspen Incorporated Autism Awareness and Support Agency. And we are gearing up for our 4th annual Walking for the Answers Autism and Special Needs Walkathon, May 4th this year at Broadview-il High School. The sole purpose of this walkathon is to sponsor children from age 7 to age 50 to horseback riding camp for an entire week. We're asking the village's support. We have 7 participants from Broadview that would like to attend. Last year we had 4 from Broadview that attended. So we hope that we can meet our margin. We have a total of 54 children that would like to go, but 7 of them are from Broadview. So we hope that we can have the support.
What does it cost to sponsor one child to this?
$300.
$300. Thank you, Ms. Vines. Katrina Thompson. Disregard? Okay. Garney Walters.
Thank you, Mayor. Garnet Walters, 2116 South 19th Avenue. First thing I want to start out with what's going on here in Broadview. I want to compliment the mayor because the direction of this community, as you look at development and things happening in the last 4 years, are exciting. Where's Matt Ames? Matt, I want to compliment you also. There he is. He's hiding. I want to compliment you. Look what that man does with his crew. And I too appreciated that meeting the other night. That was phenomenal. That was a great meeting. I'm from the farm, and we have a saying: when you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you're rotten. And I'm telling you, sir, you've got something going here. Now there is some rotten stuff going on as it relates to Broadview. And it is disturbing a lot of the information that's shared. The affiliation of Trustee Brown Marino and our village clerk with David Duncan, the strip club consultant, it's disturbing, to say the least. And one of the things that, and you talk about the increase of the legal fees and what's happening, that's a tip of the iceberg. And just like you're talking about adult use, that is something we need to be looking at right now. I looked did some research and found a website. If you look it up, Citizens for Community Values. And as it relates to this, and it talks about the whole area of strip clubs. They call them SOBs, sexually oriented businesses. That's rather apropos. 2 things that happen, and when we look at that affiliation, what kind of what are we trying? What are we communicating to our youth? And in this website, I found 32 studies regarding the effects on community as it relates to that type of business coming in. Number 1, increase in crime. Number 2, decrease in property value. And number 3, urban black people, and as well as businesses leaving the community. Yeah, that is something we need to be taking a look at it right now, and it is no joke. And going back to what I said with things are going, I firmly believe the only way to stop that is get behind that guy right there. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Danny. And just for the record, I didn't solicit the comments. And that completes that portion of public comments. That was the last one. With that being said, I'm entertaining a motion to suspend the regular council rules and defer to Chief Dagger in his report. So if I can get a motion for that one.
So moved. Second.
Motion by McGreer. For the record, let it reflect that Trustee McGreer reported at 7:45. Okay, and it was properly seconded by Trustee Morris. So that being said, I'll defer to Chief Dagger for his report.
Before I go into my report, I'm going to swear in our new officer, your new officer, Mr. Belden. Soon to be Officer Gustavo Galvin. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Gustavo Galvin,
I, Gustavo Galvin,
have been appointed to the position of police officer
have been appointed to the position of police officer
in the village of Broadview
in the village of Broadview
in the county of Cook.
in the county of Cook.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
in the village of Broadview
in the village of Broadview
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Subscribe and sworn to me before this 19th day of February.
Subscribe to me on this date for
19th. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
He'll be reporting tomorrow morning at 08:30 hours.
Oh, that's We'll be reporting tomorrow. And also a little bit of the history of him, the fact that he's boots on the ground and the whole 9 yards, and how many we've hired so far.
Officer Galvin is going to be the fourth officer that we've hired so far in the last year and a half. We did a little bit with the Fire and Police Commission. We're a little bit flexible. We have a list. However, because of the fact that we have 5 officers on medical leave, we need to put boots on the ground right away. So the flexibility allowed the Fire and Police Commission to go and identify a certified officer on the list. He also is a certified officer from another law enforcement agency. He took the police test and was certified on our list, and therefore we selected him. He passed all the selection process, all the tests, and today we're here to swear him in. So thank you on behalf of the police department, to the Fire and Police Commission. We worked very diligently to get him on board. Thank you for the board for their support, and thank you, because you're going to see a lot of this happen. I'm not done yet, so. Here's my report for January. The 2012 annual report will be ready for dissemination in mid-March 2015. Here's a preview. Violent crime was down, property crime was up. Arrests in all crimes were up. 2012 accomplishments. 7 new promotions within the ranks, incentive-based career opportunities for officer, annual award ceremony for recognition of excellence in service, advanced training offered to officers, roll call, facility modernized and computerized video feed, assisted in the neighborhood watch implementation, police watch newsletter circulated, corrective patrols implemented to target specific identified areas, light patrol re-implemented to increase police visibility, foot patrol walking talks re-implemented and encouraged, officers taking part in Operation Santa Claus, first annual Cops for Coat drive, utilization of the military diesel law enforcement support office program for acquiring equipment, crime management technology, emergency text alert, all officers recently certified CPR. More to follow in our 2012 annual report. The police department participated in Salon Bandit Task Force, which ultimately arrested and charged some multiple felony counts. This individual hit 12 hair cuttery salons, 1 here in Broadview. The police department officers participated in active shooter training. Additional training is being discussed to include other entities. And thank you for the Park District for allowing us to train at Beverly Center. The total arrests for the month, in January we had 28, December we had 33. Total citations, in January we had 403, in December we had 358. The fines and fees collected, in December we had 31,006, and in January we had 23,800, so about $700. During the month of January, members of the Broadview Police Department responded to 1,821 calls as compared to 1,708 calls in December. 13 arrest warrants were served, all along with the agency. 1 sex offender was registered. 33 cases were assigned to the detective bureau. 12 from January were assigned cases. 26 from December were assigned cases. And 5 from November were assigned cases. It was clear in my investigation. The result is 130.3% assigned cases solved. So the solvability is just one thing we're trying to do. And I mentioned this every month is to get better at solvability cases in our detective bureau, looking at those cold cases and trying to pull either by arrest or close without any information. January 2013 calls by Pete. Week 2 was the 17th from Gardner, north to Roosevelt. We had 461 calls for service that was our highest. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chief. Do I have any questions or comments for the Chief, starting with Trustee Morris? No. Trustee McGreer? None. Trustee Harder? And Trustee Abraham? No. Hey, I got one question. So our count for officers at this point is what, from where it was before?
When I first got here, we were at 24, and he is 27. I'll probably be back the first week of March.
Asking for somebody else?
Just real quick, we have found some additional funding at the state level to possibly hire another police officer. So we'll be working with Jan, the finance director. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we have a meeting to look at those numbers, and if those numbers are good, we'll be discussing them. We're out discussing with the board in a couple weeks.
And could you share with them some of the things that we had to change with the commissioners? And I think the commissioners are still in here as relates to why we ended up hiring the gentleman that we hired, what our normal process is. And
I don't usually want to step out of his boundaries, but
I think Maurice left. You got Mr. Yancey here.
there's
Joreen, one of them could talk about, you know, what the challenge that we had and what we decided to do. Is he still here?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, we'll let the, come on, I'm looking for you. Hey, welcome. I wanted you to speak to the crowd about some of the changes that we did in our hiring process in order to get boots on the ground right away as opposed to whatever and what the challenges was in your conversations with the chief.
Yeah, he's a certified officer. Certified officers have to go through the whole process, becoming a state certified officer according to the state of Illinois. You have to go through the whole retirement process of all written tests, oral tests, polygraph tests, psychological tests, agility tests, going to the academy, passing that, and then coming back. And then you got boots on the ground at that point. And that's basically what boots on the ground means, certified officer. Now we don't have to go through that particular process because that process may take 2 to 3 weeks. That's what that is.
Yeah.
2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months because the academy is a very long, strenuous process. So this way we get to, you know, kind of fill the gap of some of the guys who have been hurt, and so that we can continue to keep a secure and safe force, because when we don't have people in the spots that we need, then it puts a lot of strain on the other guys.
Right.
Questions?
in this situation, like I indicated earlier, we've been working together on trying to accomplish this in a efficient and cost-saving measures, but at the same time, there is a process. There are people on that list, and if they're not certified, they're next up, then they go to the academy. If for whatever reason there's an emergency, I submit to the Fire and Police Commission a request to consider, and then they will determine whether they'll consider that or not. And then within the board and the fire and police, we kind of be flexible and get someone that's certified.
Everything is done well within the statutes of Bill 65 CS by the state of Illinois. There's nothing that we can do that's outside of that realm. anything that we don't know, any problematic situations that may arise that is unforeseeable, very problematic. We get right into the noise, or we have to, we need to keep our ducks in the road. Eyes and teeth crossed.
Right. But it does take away black people.
It's not working.
Thank you, Commissioner Elder. Appreciate it. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to return back to the regular council process.
I motion to return back to the regular meeting.
Properly motion by trustee McGreer, properly second by trustee Abraham. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, we'll go back to the regular agenda. Madam Clerk, the next agenda item, please.
Item number 3, consideration to approve the following minutes of February 4th, 2013.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Properly motion by trustee Abraham, properly second by trustee Morris to approve these minutes. Do I have any corrections or questions to the minutes, starting with trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Harvard? No. Trustee Abraham?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All abstain? Okay. All opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Those minutes will be a matter of the record. Madam Clerk, the next agenda item.
Item number 4, consideration to approve expenditures, grand total all funds, $395,707.08.
Motion to approve.
Properly motion by trustee Morris and properly second by trustee Harvard to approve this agenda item. May I have a report from the Finance Committee, please?
Yes. Okay. We have AT&T at $3,247.50. Avalon Petroleum, $27,047.17. BNF Technical, $10,532.50. Bank of Mellon, $100,000. Bush Lawn Services, $3,210. Siniglia, $14,735.26. ComEd, $4,118.39. Cook County Treasurers, $37,459.02. Geno's Plumbing, $15,465. H&H Electric, $7,384.50. Headley Manufacturers, $60,000. The Law Offices of Phil Finaro, $21,280.15. Michael R. Conley, $2,687.50. Sanchez Daniel Hoffman, $2,906.98. Solo Laboratories, $50,000. TNT Towing, $5,130. And Widget Truck Center, $5,312.12, which is $370,516.09, which is 94% of the total bill.
Okay. Do I have any questions, comments on any of the bills presented, starting with trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Harvard?
No.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Okay, what you got?
Again, with the law office of Phil Finaro, with trustee Brown's, whatever you want to call these charges again. I know the last time I'd spoken out about it, along with trustee Benson and trustee Hargrave, we got more bills, and again, residents, I mean, this is getting to be very costly for, someone to be doing something like this, or thinking she's got access to the village money to go ahead and spend without checking with our legal advice here, and just not having any experience in the legal field. I mean, it's just upsetting. So, I mean, obviously, we're obligated to pay, am I not correct, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, well, I'll speak to that, but go on.
But it's just upsetting. Every time we turn around, it's like every month we're still getting billed on this. And I know that other law firm that does represent other individuals, such as the zoning board, I mean, we're going to be charged as well as that from them. So it's always like we're getting charged double. Two different law firms.
Yeah, and I agree and I understand all that. However, the village attorney has to represent the village. It's a pending litigation, it's a pending court case, it's already in the courts, and for the best interest of the village of Broadview and for all of us sitting here, we have to defend the position of the village at this point in time. The prudent thing would have been to just have given whatever information the trustee had over to the attorneys and let them present it in the court, but instead they attempted to step in. They attempted to step in a second time we incurred the debt. So it is what it is, so.
Right, but I mean, at this point, where we at $40,000, $50,000 again, I mean, with the first one to this, I mean, it's just very costly for someone to be acting that reckless and irresponsible and has been voted in by, you know, the residents of this community. I mean, obviously, I think it's my responsibility to let everybody know, as well as how I'm upset about it. You know, I mean, this is not what I would want by somebody to act like this. You know, we're supposed to be responsible, we're supposed to be professional. You know, if there's issues, we have a legal team that can answer any and all our questions. We don't need to go rogue and do stuff like this. I mean, it's embarrassing, you know?
You know what, Trustee Abraham, and I agree with you, but then you have to consider the alternative.
Well, personally, we don't have an account where we spend the village's money. That's my point.
But
this trustee should be accountable to either pay it back to these residents or give some sort of explanation. I mean, I'm on the finance committee along with Trustee Hargrave and Trustee Morris as the chair. We were never given a report or an error asking. I don't know if she asked our finance director or our budget officer to say, is there a fund that I can utilize this money? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I mean, there's always a procedure or policy you're supposed to follow. Not just assume you have access to this money and you can use it and spend it.
And then how do we guard something like this from
I mean, I
happening
have
in
an
the
account.
future?
Do you have an account? I mean, can I go and just start spending village money? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I hear all of that, and I understand, but you've got to look beyond this, because the alternative is to not step in and not spend the money, and this individual would have free passage to getting into a court case and expose us to further litigation, which would be more costly than the $40,000 that we've already spent. Because if in fact this person does get in and there's a libelous case or anything else, and additional litigation is brought about because of it, we'll have the current litigation that we already have, plus additional litigation. So it's got to be defended at the earliest possible point, at the least possible cost. So that's what we have to do at this point. Excuse me? So it's got to be addressed at this point. Otherwise, we'd be 4 or 5 years more in court with additional litigation that could cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars as opposed to 30 or 40. So that's where we are, and that's why we have to do what we have to do at this point. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I don't have any comments on the bills. I've seen them. They are all in order as far as I'm aware. And a lot of these expenditures that you saw here, some of them are reimbursements for funds that were on file with the village for construction or businesses or whatever the case may be. So a lot of that is just a reimbursement back to the company or the individual for whatever the case may be. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call on this one, please?
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Benson is absent. Trustee Hargrave?
Yes.
Trustee McGreal?
Yes.
Trustee Morris?
Yes.
Okay, and the motion passes to pay
Trustee
the...
Brown Bruno is absent.
Yeah. And the motion passes to pay the bills for this 2 weeks. Madam Clerk?
Item number 5, reports of the village officer, Commissioner David Upshaw.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Monthly report for January 2013 is as follows. You give one of those to the clerk too as well, Trustee Green.
Sam?
One to the
Pass a
clerk.
copy to the clerk too.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice to have this before the meeting.
This is just information that I presented to you that I received. I don't know if it's gone before the board or not, but it has required signatures. So I just wanted to let you all know it's renew it every year. And what this is, in its simplest form, this is the inspections that the Cook County Health Department perform in the village of Broadview at your retail food establishments as well as your any retail licensed stores, as your, I should say your restaurants.
Mr. Stellato, do we have to take
We need board action on this.
We do need board action?
This is a yearly thing. We have, in the past, approved this. I don't know why this one wasn't approved. But yes, it does require board action now.
We approved this on 11/5, dated 12/5.
2012?
2012. I think this is just a copy of the agreement.
Right.
I think they just sent it back because they had to countersign it at the counter. I think this is just a copy of it. They had to countersign it when it got to the counter. I think they sent it back fully executed with their signature on it.
Okay.
We submitted with the clerk and my signature. That's what this is. Carry on, Dave.
January 2013 monthly building report. There were 46 permits that were issued. There were 30 Title 13 inspections completed. Title 13 deals with the purchase and sale of any property in the village of Broadview, whether it be residential, commercial, or industrial. The mayor spoke briefly as they were reading down the one list of monies. I think they said Solar Labs, $50,000. Part of Title 13, we request that whether you be a homeowner or a business that you put funds up in escrow to make sure that we get the work, your violations are corrected, or that the repairs are made down here in the specific piece of property. Once those repairs are completed and inspection is done, re-inspection is done, I should say, and then those funds are given back to the company or the particular individual. They're held in a separate account, and those funds are returned to them. And that's part of the Title 13 process. We have 37 contractor registrations. We had 1 vacant property registration, and we had 5 complaints. And I just wanted to talk briefly regarding the complaints. And I know Chief Tavira has talked about this on several occasions. If you all see any suspicious activity, and when I say suspicious activity as it relates to the building department, contractors who are doing work and you don't see any permits, individuals who appear to be contractors but are not, please call the police department and call the building department. The complaints that we have been receiving as of late, as well as last month, due to individuals that look like contractors that have been breaking in vacant and foreclosed properties and taking out copper pipes, stealing appliances, and things of that nature. And we're finding out after the fact that they're not contractors. No one knows why they're there. When I contact the banks, it was not given to the building department or the police department. So if you see any suspicious activity, you see people moving chairs, tables, refrigerators, don't hesitate to call the building department or the police department. Please, thank you. Also, there were two gas stations, the gas station on 17th and Baton, as well as the gas station on 25th and Roosevelt. We've had some inquiries. Those 2 establishments were closed. The gas station on 17th and Baton has been reopened. The gas station on 25th and Roosevelt, they are selling gas and gas only at this time. Those 2 establishments were shut down due to they have a business license to sell packaged goods. They were selling boiled eggs. We don't know if they made them in the kitchen, we don't know if they made them at home, we don't know how old they are, but they were selling boiled eggs to residents and people who were patronizing the business. That is a major health issue. And so the gas station on 17th and Baton, they have corrected the issue. The Cook County Health Department came out and inspected the facility as well. They had to do some upgrades and repairs, and they also had to renew their license, which had not been, their health license, which had not been renewed. The establishment on 25th and Roosevelt, I think it's the Shell. Right now, they are only allowed to sell gas, and they're in the process of correcting the violation, as well as we're working with the Cook County Health Department to make sure that all the products that they have a current expiration date on it, as well as they remove any fresh produce that they should not be selling. And lastly, just wanted to talk about the facade program that the Village of Broadview has. We're starting to get quite a few applications regarding the Village of Broadview facade program. It's a facade program that was implemented a couple of years ago, where the village helps businesses that want to improve their property and make it and improve their appearance. And the village refunds a certain amount of their fees that are expended to improve their property. The facade program, there are a list of items that they can do, like the awnings, the windows, doors, things and so forth, that will improve the appearance of their property. So I'm starting to get those applications. I do know there are some on the agenda today. The Corner Spot Cafe, as well as Feburary, who's taking advantage of that, and look forward to working with all the businesses and to make sure that they take advantage of this program that allows them to the village to help subsidize any of the improvements to their property. And Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Upshaw. Questions or comments for the building department? Trustee Moore?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Harvard?
No.
Trustee Abraham?
Any updates on O'Reilly Auto Parts?
O'Reilly Auto Parts, I think I mentioned this before in several meetings, but O'Reilly Auto Parts is coming to Broadview. We're right now, they haven't had broken ground, just waiting for the weather to break. But their anticipation is that they should be breaking ground by the 1st of March. They'll actually be up and running by May.
Thank you. I have nothing for you, Mr. Upshaw. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk?
Our next committee report is Finance Director Jan Francis, Finance Department.
Evening.
Good evening.
Board trustees, residents, excuse the entire cat insurance class. Okay. The financial report for the month of January 2013, the general fund in the month of January. Okay, I thought you just looked over here. In the month of January, the general fund reported $1,900,000 in revenue, $756,000 in expenses, yielding a net surplus of the month of $2,053,000 for the month. On a year-to-date basis, our general fund in the current year is running a net surplus of $351,000. In January, the major revenue sources included $11,000 in property taxes, and I'm sorry, I put the report back there late. I'm sorry, I had them up and forgot I had them. For anyone who wants $295,000 in sales taxes, $89,000 in utility taxes, $107,000 in state income taxes, $88,000 in corporate replacement taxes, and $10,000 in state use taxes. Other significant or local revenues generated by the village in the general fund included $157,000 collected by the building department and business license, permits, and inspection activities, $33,000 collected by police department and fines and towing activities, and $67,000 recorded by the fire department and ambulance and police, and hospital billing fees. In January, we also, in January, we also received a $100,000 partial payment for the village's release of the easement area for the sign. We received $31,000 in reimbursements for various legal fees, workers' comp claims and or property damage, and we also received a one-time $14,000 legal settlement. On the expense side, employee labor benefits is always our primary spending. They represent 72% of the total spending. In the other area, the next more significant area is in contractual services, which included $41,000 in legal and professional service invoices, $42,000 in general liability insurance expenses, $25,000 in various repair and maintenance expenses, $9,000 a payment to Broadview Library for their portion of the corporate payment tax, and a $15,000 payout of a legal settlement on our part. On 9 months into the year, basically we represent 2/3 of the year, 3/4 of the year, or 3/4 of the year. With that being said, both our revenues and our expenses are running slightly below that. On a year-to-date basis, if you look at our revenues, the primary driver to bring down is the property taxes. However, property taxes, we have collected 95% under 2011, and I can tell you that 2012 has started to come in. We received probably about $500,000 a day in February. To be reported next month, sorry. But we have received, so it started coming. Other taxes all are running according within the budget pace, and our local revenue sources are just doing so well that I'm going to expect them to continue doing it as we look at budget, people who want to spend money. Our departments are doing really well as far as in the local revenues we'll find and fees and chargeable services. And I'm sorry, I just took that opportunity to get my jab out there because they're coming at me from spending next year. On other finances and miscellaneous revenues, on a year-to-date basis, it's doing so well, in part to a couple of one-time items. I believe we reported back in December that because of the village court tip property taxes being sufficient to meet the debt, we were able to recover. They were able to release from the trust, and we were able to recover $495,000 pledged taxes back into the general fund. We also have $100,000 in cash flow received from the highway sign deal, and then there's $79,000 that we received from two different legal settlements. So these are one-time things, but they're helping to keep our surplus for the month and the year very well. On a expenditure basis, on a spending basis, primarily everybody is running within budget with the following exceptions. If you look at finance appears to be running ahead of budget, but that is because of the distortion of the one-time payment of debt services, which have been paid in full for the year. That sort of distorts the annualized trend. The building and grounds department 25 has been and will run over budget for the remainder of the year because of some unplanned cost of the repavement of the parking lot. The building department year-to-date fuel seems a little higher than budgeted, and that's why it's running slightly over. And the building department unbudgeted equipment supplies is absorbing in other areas that they spend it. So pretty much we're pretty staying on it, and if we continue on in this to the end of the year, we should have good news by in the fiscal year. Any questions, comments?
Thank you, Ms. Baptist. Questions from the board, starting with Trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Harvard?
No.
And Trustee Abraham?
No.
I only got one comment, and that's to all of the department heads. 3/4 of the way through the year to be at $351,000 surplus. You ought to be commended for your holding the line on your salaries and your expenses.
Yes, they should.
And the revenue generation. I thank each and every one of you. And thank you, Ms. Baptist, for a consolidated report. Madam Clerk?
Our next public officer is Chief Thomas Gardner, Fire Department.
Good evening, Village Board residents.
Good evening.
This is the monthly report for January 2013 for the fire department. Over the past month, we responded to 178 emergency calls. Of those, 3 of those were box alarm fires or greater. For our contract performance with the 3 contracts we have, with Loyola, Hines, and Madden, we responded to 5 fires and 14 ambulance calls at the main Loyola campus for a total of 19, along with 1 at the Loyola Fitness Center with request for an ambulance. Hines VA, we responded 9 times with an ambulance. And a JJ Madden, we responded 2 fire alarms for a total of 2 for the year so far. Fire Prevention Bureau Inspector Scott Carstens performed 116 inspections. Eight of those being home inspections. Another 50 violations were cited during those inspections, along with 5 other special inspections. Again, training, which is a big part of what we do. We completed 95 hours of training on various fire and EMS topics. Firefighter months attended a Mavis Division 20 technical rescue team training, which was held at the Bellwood Fire Department. We hosted the Loyola EMS coordinators meeting in our classroom, which is, for those that don't know, the Loyola EMS system is the largest EMS system in the state. So we've been partnering up with them and doing more with our department along with that system. I attended the International Association of Fire Chiefs Symposium down in Phoenix, Arizona. We have firefighter Schattler as part of our wellness initiative, as far as physicals and the physical training that we've been doing over the past year, which has been mandated by me at the department. Firefighter Schattler attended a 40-hour class on peer fitness training, so now he is a certified peer fitness trainer, which is recognized by the International Association of Firefighters as well as the International Fire Chiefs Association, so now he can set up and keep our program going at the fire department. We also received a Western shelter system from Mavis, who is our big mother where we get a lot of our equipment at no cost to us. We are housing what's called a Western shelter trailer, which we can use at any time. What it is a Western shelter is basically a tent system that comes complete with heat and air conditioning. So if we had some type of disaster or some instance where we needed to house, this one tent will house up to approximately 50 to 75 people if we needed to put that up somewhere. That's all self-sufficient. Each one of the Mavis divisions in Illinois has one of these now, and we are lucky enough to host the store the one here. So it's readily available if we ever need it. We did host another blood drive back in last month in the middle of January, which was a good success. I think we received about another 28 units. We'll be doing another one coming May. As far as our billing information goes, we collected $10,310 from PBS, who's our collection agency, with a net collection of $10,796. We billed out $9,000 to Loyola Hospital, $7,260 to Hines, for a total of $16,260 for the month of December. We did receive $54,692.48 in collections for services to Loyola, Hines, and Madden. Item B2 will have our annual report presented to the board mid-March for last year. We are also conducting another CPR class on March 9th at 9 a.m. at the fire station. Again, it's no charge to any residents that are interested in attending. It's a good class. It runs about 3 to 4 hours on your Saturday morning, but it could be well worth it. Definitely save a life by learning the techniques. I did want to mention that Chief DeGuerre and myself are going to host a public safety town hall meeting. We'll be doing that sometime the end of March. We don't have an exact date picked out yet. We're just finalizing the details on the meeting. It'll be open, obviously, to the public. It's a town hall meeting. We're going to be discussing the accomplishments of the 2 public safety departments over the last year. Also talking about what our future, what this year's accomplishments we hope to achieve throughout this year. And we'll also be answering any questions, taking any comments or feedback from the residents and citizens in town. Find out what you guys are looking for and answer any questions you have of us. Ourselves will be there as well as some of our staff to answer any questions. So we'll definitely get the date, the time. We talked to Katrina today about probably hosting it at Schroeder Park. So we will let you know the exact date and time as soon as we can, so keep your eyes out for mailing and other ways to get the word out to you guys. So, That concludes my report, Mayor. Jan.
Thank you, Chief Gardner. Questions from the board? Starting with Trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
No.
Trustee Harvard? No. Trustee Abraham? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
Madam Clerk?
Our next village officer, Matt Ames, MFA Construction, Public Works Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, residents, homeowners, business owners. At this time, Public Works have absolutely no report tonight, so, but we will entertain any questions the board may have.
Okay. Questions from the board, starting with Trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Harvard?
No.
You sure? Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can you please give us an update on that water main? I believe it was 2 of them that was out there at that site, 12th Avenue, that's through. Give us an update where we're at with that. What is happening on 12th Avenue in the Harvester section?
Oh, yeah.
They're relatively close to each other, so.
Yeah, they are. 2 water main breaks occurred on our 6-inch line. It was 2900 block, 2800 block of 12th Avenue, right in front of C's Pizza, I believe is the restaurant, is that the name of the restaurant? And probably about 3 houses to the north of that, we also had another break on that line. So, once again, from the presentation that we gave, I believe, a couple Thursdays ago, I don't think that we can expect anything other than, obviously, those breaks to continue. And the point is, water loss, obviously, in our reporting, is just going to continue to go up. So, but they have been repaired. Right. I mean, that's. So.
And then, in your opinion, was it based on the temperature? Obviously, we've been having, the weather hasn't been favorable, so it goes from cold to hot. And then, obviously, the age of that, the infrastructure over there, I would imagine.
The age is probably the most critical factor. So, yeah, the age of the pipes. So,
I know it's cold today.
yeah, and hopefully, you know, I can sleep through the night and won't get any phone calls from the police or the fire saying that we get water main breaks at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but that does occur and we're prepared, so.
Thank you.
When she asked you about water, I want to ask you about salt. So I know our salt consumption's down. Do you know where we are as it relates to projections and current status of our salt consumption?
Well, right now we've ordered 420 tons from North American Salt, which obviously, you guys know that we expended our funds up front, $50,000 for approximately 932 odd tons. So we have approximately 520 odd tons left in storage with North American Salt. At the yard now, we have on hand about 200 tons. So we're anticipating this storm front that's coming through Thursday night and Friday morning. We should be able to address that, no problems whatsoever, and look at, like you said, our reserves and possibly get another couple hundred tons shipped here. So, but you know, we are looking good, and hopefully we'll go into the next season with a surplus of salt. Whether or not it's stored inside or off-site, that's yet to be determined. So.
Okay, well, and that's what I was getting at. I know we got a front coming through here, but thank you very much. That's it, that's all I got, Madam Clerk.
Item number 6, communication, we have none. Item number 7, unfinished business. Consideration of an ordinance approving a personnel improvement agreement signed in between the Village of Broadview and Hildebrand Sporting Goods of the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Probably motion by Trustee Abraham, probably second by Trustee Morris. Is anybody from Hildebrand here? Nobody from Hildebrand here? Questions or comments from the board? Trustee Moore?
No.
McGreer?
None.
Harvard?
No.
Abraham?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the facade improvement program for Hildebrand will go into the record as approved.
Item number 7B, consideration of an ordinance approving a facade improvement agreement by and between the Village of Broadview and SNI Global Enterprise, Inc. and Gramstone Corporation, DBA, The Cornerstone Cafe for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Properly motion by trustee Abraham and properly second by trustee Morris to approve this agenda. I see the corner spots in the building, you know, welcome to the meeting. Questions or comments as they are here? Trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
Yeah, Mr. Stone, what do you guys plan on doing with the funding for the facade program? What do you plan on doing now?
We've already done quite a bit, including installation of doors, pier and replacement of signs, awning installed. We've had windows installed and glazed, so there's quite a bit we've done already.
It's one of the nicest looking places in Broadview. Really nice. Thank you.
Trustee Hart?
No.
Trustee Abraham?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the facade improvement agreement between the village and the corner spot will be made part of the record. Madam Clerk?
Item number 7C, consideration of an ordinance approving an animal impoundment service agreement by and between the Village of Broadview and Interbreed S. Gill, DBA, Broadview Animal Hospital for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
I'll entertain a motion to table this item because the entity, Well, I'll entertain a motion to table, just want to make sure, because the entity that the agreement's with has not addressed it, so we haven't gotten it back
I'll make
yet.
a motion to table.
You know?
Second.
Okay.
Motion by trustee Hargreaves, second by trustee Abraham to table it. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, this item will be tabled till our next board meeting.
Item number 7D, consideration to approve the minutes of the regular board meetings of January 7th, 2013, January 22nd, 2013, February 4th, 2013, and the minutes of the special board meeting of January 28th, 2013.
I make a motion that we approve these separately because February 4th was just done earlier.
I second that.
Okay. Probably motion by trustee Abraham and probably second by trustee McGreer to separate these out. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so we're going to separate these out. I'll entertain a motion to address the January 7th meeting.
I make a motion to approve the January 7th meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Abraham, second by trustee McGreer. Questions, comments, or corrections on the January 7th minutes?
No.
Trustee Morris McGreer?
None.
Trustee Harvard?
No.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Okay, what's your correction?
It's under the consideration to approve expenditures. There was a motion by Harvard and second by Abraham. There was a question. There was discussion that entailed trustee Harvard, trustee Benson, and trustee Abraham regarding the law office of Phil Fernero regarding legal fees by trustee Brown Marino that we were incurring. That was roughly about $30,000. So each trustee had different comments regarding it, and it's not included in this discussion. I know you made the ruling to go ahead and include it in the bills, not to be held out.
Right.
But there was discussion by 3 trustees, noting our dissatisfaction, obviously, and
Okay. So the motion to approve it, are you saying that you want to change your motion at this point?
well, it should include corrections, and obviously
You
the
want-
3 trustees had opinions on that.
You want to amend your motion to include the corrections, to include the discussion regarding the bills from the law offices of Phil Fernaro, and the discussion was between the 3 trustees?
Yes.
I second that.
Okay. So the motion as it stands right now is to approve the minutes from January 7th with the inclusion of the discussion about the trustees about the bills related to the $30,000 incurred from the law offices of Fernaro relative to the motion to intervene by trustee Marino. Any other further discussion on this?
Yeah, why do we have to go over this? Why was that not included in the first place?
It could be a scrivener's error. It's a question probably better answered by the clerk. But at the end of the day, what we have in front of us is minutes, and something's missing. The motion is to include it at this point, so we need to just move on, include the discussion between the trustees and make it a matter of record. We can debate it all night.
No,
We will
that's
sit
it,
here and
that's
have
it,
an
that's it.
extensive discussion about it all night, but it wouldn't get us anywhere and it wouldn't accomplish anything. So, do I have any further questions or discussions about the motion that's on the floor? Okay, all in favor to approve with the one correction?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, those minutes are approved pending, and Madam Clerk, would you please make sure they get a copy of the revised minutes with the discussion of the trustees relative to the 30,000? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on the January 22nd minutes of the board meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Hargis, second by trustee Morris. Do I have questions, comments, or corrections on January 22nd's minutes, starting with trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Hargis? Trustee Abraham?
No, I don't, because I was not here for that meeting.
Okay, so you did not make the meeting.
Thank God.
Okay, all in favor and to approve?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the January... Abstain for trustee Abraham. So the minutes for January 22nd are approved at this point. I'll entertain a motion. The February 4th minutes were approved earlier in tonight's meeting. I'll entertain a motion to, on the special board meeting minutes of January 28th, 2013. Motion?
Make a motion to approve the January 28th minutes.
I second that.
Motion by Abraham and second by trustee McGreer. Questions or comments from the members of the board or corrections from the members of the board on a special board meeting from January 28th, starting with trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Hargis?
No.
And trustee Abraham?
No.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no opposition, those minutes are also passed. Madam Clerk, we can go on to the next agenda item.
Item number 8, new business. Consideration of an ordinance memorizing the board's decision to withdraw and revoke the identification for Maxine Johnson in the case of Sherman C. Jones, ETAL versus Maxine Johnson, ETL, case number 2013, COEL 000021 for the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois.
I'll entertain a motion to remove this agenda item from consideration until after the executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned by trustee McGreer and properly second by trustee Abraham to remove this from agenda item until after the executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, we'll move on to 8B.
So noted. Item number 8B, consideration of a resolution approving the 2013 Community Development Block Grant application for the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Probably motion by trustee Abraham, probably second by trustee McGreer. This is the block grant program, and that's 15th and Harvard, Mr. Goomans? Is that what that one is?
15th Avenue.
You want to tell us what we got going on with the CDBG for this particular project?
This is application for, we're going to be approving 15th Avenue from the alley north of Broadview-il to Harvard, and Harvard from 15th to 14th.
So you're going to go around the corner.
We're going to go around the corner a little bit. This year we're doing a block on 14th, and we're going from 14th to 13th at Harvard. So we're kind of keeping going, adding a little bit. The county has been giving us more money lately, so we're getting a little more aggressive in what we're requesting. Hopefully they'll keep going and doing that.
Okay.
What a rarity for somebody to give more money, so.
Absolutely.
So total amount of grant funding we're requesting is $212,440.
Well, good luck to us.
That's
What have we been averaging from them? About 100 and a quarter, 130?
Yes.
Something like that. And we'll see what they give
And what
us.
happens if you ask for this much and they give you the 130, you can...
Then we'll scale it back.
Yep.
Question or comments from the board for the village engineer, trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Hargis?
No.
Trustee Abraham?
No.
May I have a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Benson is absent. Trustee Hargis?
Yes.
Trustee McGreer?
Yes.
Trustee Morris?
Yes.
And that motion carries for the resolution for the Development Block Program for 15th Avenue.
Item number 8C, consideration of an ordinance amending section 5-1-3, composition of the Department of Chapter 1 Fire Department of Title 5, Fire Prevention and Protection for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned by trustee Harvard and properly second by trustee Abraham. This particular ordinance amending section 513, I've got the fire chief here. This is basically a restructuring of the management staff over there at the firehouse, am I correct? Or
Yes, it's a ordinance to basically eliminate 2 lieutenant positions that we have right now, one of which hasn't been filled in almost 7 years. What this will do, will free up some funds. Since the layoffs, we've been basically management heavy. So now what this will do, will restructure and allow us to free up some funds to hire, hopefully, some firemen underneath to get our ranks back in order since 2006. It's been out of whack. So this is going to get us back on track to where we need to be. So little by little.
Trying to catch up with the police department, sir?
Oh, I got one. I'm working on it, though. That's a promise.
Questions or comments for the chief? He's right here. By the way, he actually initiated this, and he actually came up with the plan and the program to do this. So if you've got some questions or comments about the technical aspects of this, the chief is prepared to answer them. And the attorney's not here that actually helped him, I don't think. But Trustee Morris, but no, if you need that, Chief. Trustee McGreer.
Yeah, Chief. Any changes since the last time we discussed this initially? You don't have to be specific. I just wanted to know.
The only change now is we're maintaining the 1 lieutenant position,
Okay.
who will be what we call a relief lieutenant. He will be working basically the same 8-day shift cycle that we normally work, except he won't be assigned to a specific shift. He will be plugging the holes of overtime when the captains are off or there's a shortages. He will float between the 3 shifts.
Do you have another scenario sheet that you can send us?
Yeah, I've got it all
I'd appreciate it.
laid out.
Thank you, sir.
Trustee Howard? No. Trustee Abraham?
No.
Thank you, Chief. I have no questions. I've gone through all your emails and stuff. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that ordinance is passed, and good job, Chief.
Thank you.
Item number 8D, consideration of an application for business license for Best Packaging Inc.
Right, anybody from business? You got Dave? Somebody?
It's called.
Well, let me have a motion first.
Okay.
Somebody give me a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Properly motion by trustee Harvard, properly second by trustee Abraham. Dave, you want to tell us what we got here? I got
Best
that.
Packaging, pretty much, they're a distribution company, and they're going to use 1951 West 21st Street, Suite B, as a storage facility. Pretty much their distribution of packaging supplies for machinery. They were approved back in January 30th, and they had not provided us with their FEN number as well as their sales tax number. That information has been provided to the board. It should be in your packet.
Yes, sales.
I got the FEN, I don't have the state sales tax. You just-
I don't know about that.
It's all sent in, okay. That's fine. Anything else? Anyone else? Might as well stay there. You got 2 more to go in a minute. You got the other 2 with you?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have any questions or comments for them? Do we have Best Packaging in the house? Is anyone for Best Packaging here? Okay, they're not here. So all their inspections are all in order and everything's
Yes.
complying according to this? Questions or comments from the board? Trustee Morris?
No.
Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Harvey?
Yes. I see that they're distributor, but on their application it has that they don't have any company vehicles. Are they outsourcing their transportation?
They are. I don't know where they're getting it from. They are.
They probably have a courier or mail, probably a mailing issue. Trustee Abraham?
No.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that business license for Best Packaging is approved.
Item number 8E, consideration of an application for business license for Solo Laboratories, Inc.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Probably motion by trustee Hargit, probably second by trustee Abraham. I see Solos in the building, no? You guys, how you guys doing today?
Good.
Good, I see. Dave, you want to tell them what we got here? Yeah, good to see you guys.
First of all, I'd like to welcome Solar Labs. Solar Labs bought the Brooklyn Bonding building. And that building had been vacant for a very, very long time. They've done, the address is 2200 Parks Drive.
It's in the corner on Parks Drive over there.
And the building has been vacant for a long time. Very, very, very large building. They've done a fabulous job in terms of
Restored.
I should say doing repairs and making it better, tongue-tied. They have done a great job in terms of doing repairs to the building as well as making improvements to the existing structure as it is. And so I'm just glad to have them here in Broadview. I anticipate them that they're going to be doing great things, and it's a highly successful business. And they're in terms of repairs, in terms of paperwork, everything's in order. They're just looking to get their money back.
Okay, questions or comments from the members of the board? Start with trustee Morris.
No.
Trustee McGreer.
Welcome, Solo. Thank you.
Trustee Hargit.
No.
Trustee Abraham.
Good luck.
Listen, I'm glad to see you guys are here. You guys exemplify what a good business is, and I appreciate what you've done so far. Thank you, guys. Welcome to Broadview. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, Solo Labs will be in Broadview doing business first thing in the morning, I'm sure.
Item number 8F, consideration of an application for business license for Feburary Group.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been motion to approve by trustee Hargit and second by trustee Abraham. Mr. Building Commissioner, you want to tell us about this one?
Yes, probably everybody, if you've been involved in any time, you probably know a great deal about Pure Foods. Pure Foods is the doodad, the cookie company, right here. That's our 25th. And so what they've done, they're doing very well in this economy. Their business is expanding. And I don't know if everyone is aware, but behind Ashland and LA Business, we got about 10,000 square feet of just vacant space. Pure Foods is deciding to buy that space. And they're deciding to use that as storage and distribution of some of their cookies. So that's what this is about. So they're buying property in the village of Broadview, getting on the tax roll.
Yeah, the owner of the property that Ashley Furniture and LA Fitness sit on has had this piece of property on the backside of them available for the last couple of years. They've been trying to do something with it for 2 years. And it's just like putting a square peg in a square hole. It was just a perfect match for these two companies to do business. And so the cookie company's doing great. They wanted to expand. The warehouse space was available. It was local, so it's a good fit. It makes a lot of sense. Questions or comments from the board? Trustee Morris? No. Trustee McGreer?
None.
Trustee Hargit?
Okay, so are they leasing or purchasing the warehousing? Because on their application, it has leasing that is owned by Ashley.
They are leasing it, but their intent is leasing with the option to buy.
Okay.
Their intent is to eventually purchase the property.
Down on.
Yes, I don't know what the arrangements are, but that's what our conversation is.
Okay.
Trustee Abraham?
Comment is, I'm glad they're staying in the community and expanding here. That's what we want.
I have nothing further to add. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, the business license is approved for Pure Food Group.
Item number 9, application for the authority to spend funds. We have none.
Back here.
Item number 10, committee reports, building and public property. Trustee Abraham.
Yeah, it's all the way
Yes, good evening,
That's where the dock
residents.
area would be. Go ahead, I'm sorry. He was asking me about the location still. Go ahead.
Good evening, residents. I have a few updates. First one is from the office. of our village collector, Donna Barbara. The vehicle stickers, 2014 vehicle stickers, go on sale March 1st. Item number 2, I was able to meet with Chief Tigera and Chief Gardner a few weeks ago to look at, if you recall, we purchased 3 TV monitors for a command center. 2 were to be utilized by our police department, 1 by our fire department. I was able to see how the police department went ahead and set it up. They have a laptop. They're using it as an information between all 3 shifts. Very informative. I thought it was very well done. And it just makes it easier, puts us more in the technology base as far as sharing information between the shifts. So they know exactly what's happening at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the guys at midnight know what's going on, or 2 in the morning, so there's constant communication. So big improvement there. I know the fire department's still working on their setup, and I will be seeing that as well. From our building department, I have a few items. We did receive from Comcast the annual report. They said they're very pleased, and they want to present their 2012 annual report detailing Comcast's performance during the past year. And one of the things that they highlighted was that over the last 5 years, Comcast has invested nearly $1 billion in technology and infrastructure in the state of Illinois. We also received an update, I know I've mentioned it before, from the Office of the Illinois Attorney General, Lisa Madigan, regarding the National Foreclosure Settlement Awards. And what they're doing right now is a multiple step process to distribute the National Foreclosure Settlement funds allocated to Illinois to help residents and communities recover from the foreclosure crisis. They've already set up $23 million has been available or for distribution for legal assistance to get our homeowners, borrowers, renters, and to get them back and get them repaid. Also, there's supposed to be an additional $70 million in funding, and that's going to be available over the next 3 years in that letter. Also, we received from Commissioner Robert Steele. He had some announcements that came through the building department. One was the Cook County Summer Fellowship Program. The application deadline for that is February 22nd, 2013. And you can go to his website. His office is located right here. District office is located at 3936 West Roosevelt Road in Chicago. He also has a small business seminar he'll be doing on February 20th. It's a workshop for business owners. He will also be offering scholarship opportunities. There's a deadline for May 3rd, 2013, and that's what the Illinois Counties Association is now accepting applications. He also noted that the 2012 senior exemption applications, the deadline has been extended to February 20th. So that was from Commissioner Robert Steele. Also, we've received, the building department received from Weight Watchers. They want to thank Mr. Upshaw for his participation in their grand opening event. And also from the building department, the apartment building located at 12th and Cermak Road. If you've driven by it, you'll see there's quite a bit of work going on there, repairs and upgrades. So that has been moving along on schedule. And that's the end of my report, sir.
Thank you, Trustee Abraham.
Our next committee report, we don't want to do the business committee, Trustee Benson.
Anybody got anything for Trustee Benson? That's it? Okay. No report.
Okay, next committee report is fire, police, and civil service. Trustee Herbert.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I would like to go on record to notate that I received the January compiled report for the fire department. Also, I want to apologize. I wasn't here at the last board meeting, but I hear there was a big discussion in regards to a personal issue that I have going on. I just want to address the residents and let you guys know that I plan to take this all the way to court, and this will be handled by my attorney that has been hired and paid for by myself personally. I'm not sure why it would have come before the board or before the residents as something such as a big fiasco. It's something that I plan to address with the board and the residents directly myself. But if anybody has any questions, if there's anything that I can answer, I can talk to you about it directly and personally, because like I said, it's an issue that's actually being handled by an attorney, and I can address anything else. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Harvey.
Our next committee report, street sidewalks and alley, trustee McGuire.
No report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGrew.
Finance committee, trustee Morris.
No, I don't have any report, but I would like for the mayor just to take into consideration that when the department heads speak, that like when we like next week, they won't speak, so we'll speak. But every time that they speak, we should not speak, because they already done said everything. So I'm thinking that just for time's sake and for the department head speaking, that we should be took off of the agenda for the meeting that they speak. And that's the second meeting. Yeah, for the meeting that you speak now, we should not speak.
Yeah.
And then the next meeting, then we'll speak, and then they won't speak. So just to take that into consideration.
Okay. Is that it, trustee Moore?
Yes.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Next committee report is water drainage and health. Is anyone doing that for trustee?
Anybody got anything for trustee Marino? Anybody for water drainage and health? No report out, but look at it.
Thank you. I just have a couple announcements, just an update on that. We are finished with the objections hearing that have been held here in the village of Broadview. We have 2 cases that have been filed appeals, so we're waiting on the court decision for that to see how we move forward. I was also had to give an oath of office to the judge last week in court that I would not do anything with the ballots and doing any certifications until I hear from the judge back. So hopefully this issue will be cleared up in the next couple of weeks. The second item, on February 9th, last Saturday, I attended the West Central Municipal Conference. It was very informational. There were over 250 people that was involved in that came out, and the discussions was public safety, electronic conference, and regional transportation priorities, and also how to protect municipal revenue. It was very informational, so I did bring some information back from that. And that concludes my report. President Jones.
I've got a couple of things. First of all, thanks, Gwen, for the information on Neighborhood Watch. Those of you that haven't been to the Neighborhood Watch meetings with the principals that run it, it's ran by your friends and neighbors in town with the assistance of the police department, police commissioners. They get involved and provide input into those meetings. It's a good thing, and they do have signs for the windows for each resident. That's the first thing. Secondly, the adult use issue was brought up tonight in the public comments, and it talked about state statute and a rezoning ordinance. Unfortunately, we were already in litigation at the time that we created the rezoning ordinance, and it was an oversight by the village in prior years that they did not have zoning. Had they had the zoning, the litigation would not be in existence, and they would have been trying to put it over there. So it is what it is. We're in court. We're going to be in court until it's resolved, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it at this time. It just predated us fixing a problem as it relates to our ordinances. Secondly, there was a discussion, a comment about the website and PDF files. We will make sure that we can get the website updated with information that you can actually download and see better. And then there was a question about phase 2 of the project. And if you look at the map that was created by the village engineer, it shows you where the most critical streets were in town, and you can pretty much judge by that, that grid, where we'll be going first, second, and finally. But there will be a more detailed plan coming out in the future, so you'll be made aware of that. The sign is going up on 17th in the Eisenhower. We've received the first payment on that one of $100,000, and that's a good thing. Yeah, we're waiting on them to see what they're going to put up there next. Public safety, and that's a big concern of mine, and kudos to the chief for being, and matter of fact, kudos to all the department heads for being resourceful and creative and funding some of the things that they do and finding a way to get it done, doing more with less. In this economic times, they should all be recognized, if not applauded, for their efforts. in getting us to a $350,000 surplus 3/4 of the way through the year. That being said, I know for sure that we have 5 officers that are out physically unable to perform the duties of the police department, and we have hired 4, and we're probably going to need more. I don't know what the prognosis is on all 5 of them, but I do know with almost absolute certainty that at least 2 of them will not be coming back to full service. I can almost, you tell me if I say something wrong, Chief. I'm almost certain for sure 2 of them are not coming back. You know, once their surgeries and everything are done and their therapy is done, they won't be back. So we know for sure 2 of these guys are not coming back, and there's a great possibility for a 3rd and 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So of the 5 that are out, it's not looking promising that all of them will be back. Maybe 1 or 2 at best. So, and so for us, it's an issue of public safety, i.e. Why I went to the police and fire commissioners and talked to the chief about what we were going to do to get officers on the ground as quick as possible without going through this 9-month ordeal of the whole training. And I thank them for their ingenuity in getting it done and getting the officer on duty right away. Thursday, there's a couple of things going on, and my schedule conflicts me, so I can't be in both places at the same time. So I'm going to hope that the building commissioner and the public works director assist me in this one. IDOT and the Eisenhower expansion is meeting in Oak Park on Thursday. At the same time, the chief and I will be over in Maywood meeting with Cook County Board President Preckwinkle, other mayors and other police officials, and there's going to be an open forum discussion about gun control. So we'll be over there talking about gun control, and hopefully one of these guys or both these guys will go over to Oak Park and hear what IDOT's talking about the Eisenhower expansion on Thursday. I don't know if that meeting's open to the public, Chief. Do you know if that meeting with Preckwinkle is open to the public or not? I don't even know if that church will hold everybody. Now that I'm thinking about it. No. It's not open to the public, just being the chief, right? Okay. And then the last thing I wanted to do is address Trustee Morris as it relates to the department heads giving their reports and the trustees' reports. I would strongly advise against taking the trustees off and giving the reports. I think that the trustees should understand that the meetings are lengthy as it is and just be very brief in their reporting on the days that the department heads give their reports, and save the things that are not pertinent or not critical to be disseminated for the following meeting. But I don't think it's advisable to eliminate the trustees' committee reports. Those committee reports are designed for you to share with the public what's been done in your committees. Not what's being done in the departments, but what your committee, it may be working on something totally different from what's going on in the department. So that's all I got to say on that one. I just think that we should keep you on the agenda, and you should just be mindful that, you know, the meeting is going on, and just shorten your report. With that being said, I'll entertain a motion to suspend the regular board meeting and adjourn to executive session for pending litigation discussion. So moved. Second. Probably motion by Trustee McGreer and probably second by Trustee Abraham. So this meeting is temporarily adjourned. We're going to go to